How to politely tell someone they are stupid. Wisdom has been chasing you, but you have always been faster. Who thought it was a good idea to teach this person firebending? Aang beats up the class bully in front of his girlfriend. Imagine being a high school student and eventually learning you were trying to box Jesus. I made one for Avatar: The Last Airbender fans. Thank you for changing my life. I literally ended 12 years ago. Move on. Aang is the only known Avatar to have met all 4 of the original benders. Try and tell me this show isn't on drugs. We're walking in circles. I've seen that same spirit mushroom 5 times. That's not the same mushroom. Yes, I am. When Zuko's eyebrows go from this, that's the tweet. You mean that? Old art I never finished or posted for obvious reasons. It's what he would want. Each day, I grow some more. It's like an evolutionary line of Pokemon. This squirrel has mastered waterbending. Taking a walk today and found this. Azula looks like she's about to kill her entire clan. I love that Aang's favorite fighting style is nope. Zuko really jumped off a 50-foot tower to get Aang. Like, the boy worries me. New element detected. Soccer bending. Land puppy. Sea puppy. Sky puppy. But everything changed when It's funny how despite being an evil empire, the Fire Nation was the only country that allowed women into their army. Fact of the day. President Obama does not have a plan in case the Fire Nation attacks. Plot twist. It's because we're the Fire Nation. Daddy issues make you a people pleaser, but mummy issues makes you a sociopath. 12 years of practice and discipline. All for him to let his closeted lover start a 100-year war and wipe out the Air Nation because he a baby. Something about the hugs in Avatar makes me feel like I'm being hugged too. According to Avatar Extra, Appa is overweight for a sky bison and has a double chin. Nothing can compete with how amazing Team Avatar's power crawl was. Yep, so cute. He smile like Kermit, therefore he is Kermit. Avatar 3 will explore a new fire Na'vi tribe known as the Ash People, reveals James Cameron. Nickelodeon needs to sue because who does he think he is? I come from a long line of guys who had something wrong with them. She is my favorite because sometimes she's like, and other times she's, and I think that's wonderful. Thinking about how Iroh said you had to be clear of mind to lightning bend, but Azula did it while losing her mind. These two have the same voice actor. Look at this drama queen going into a coma because he made the right decision. You did the right thing, letting the Avatar bison go free. I don't feel right. Time Traveler speaks. The timeline. Katara, look, I'm metal bending. When too many people you know from different places come together, and you have to maintain the personality you've created for each one at the same time. Iroh gives amazing advice, but you can't sleep on these guys either. If you didn't want to be assimilated into my found family, then you should have killed me when you had the chance. No, but how does Zuko manage to stay up all night? Multiple times. He scares me. Sure, cats and dogs are cute, but will they be ever as cute as Appa hugging his own tail while he sleeps? It was just here we realized Uncle Iroh isn't just there for comedic purposes. This is what I do in the shower for 45 minutes. No, you must unlock all your chakras to control the Avatar state. Let go of your attachments. There is no going back. Haha, water tribe girl. So if Zuko worries a lot about where the Avatar is, does he have anxiety? Stop. Shows up to the war 100 years late with Starbucks. I love how Zuko was expecting to fight an actual 112-year-old bending messiah and come out of it winning. My boy has no concept of self-preservation. You're the Avatar? You're just a child. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. Can we please talk about this? This is just 3 years after his father threw a fistful of fire at him to burn half of his face off. But when his uncle does this, he doesn't even flinch. I mean, the trust? Your unpopular opinions on Toph. I do not believe with a single fiber of my being that this character would have ever chosen to become a cop. And this is Katara, my flying sister. Felt cute, might kidnap the Avatar and restore my honor. I saw him heating up his tea. We work in a tea shop. He's a firebender. This is art. Perfect use of this meme. Netflix is making a live-action Avatar show. The fandom. Delectable tea or deadly poison. If you think you're polite, remember Appa was used as a slide and didn't complain. It's okay to ask for help. You're not a burden. Murder is okay. Your feelings matter. Some words of encouragement from that lemur. It's condoning murder. Aang being asked to bring balance and peace to the entire world. I'm 13. This is ridiculous. The awesome detail how Zuko lost significant weight after being being exiled, traveling around the world in search of the Avatar. Remember when Sokka joined the Fire Nation army and faked his own death? Are we ignoring the fact that Sokka invented pyrotechnics, submarines, made air power relevant, and found a way to escape an escapable Fire Nation prison in half a day when you spend a year having fun, getting into shenanigans while mastering all 4 elements? But now you gotta show up and defeat the Fire Lord. Mastering waterbending. Random trips, just cuz. Aang, when the temperature of the tea is just right. Kill me. Airbenders are able to warm themselves with only their breathing. Okay, so this explains why Katara and Sokka were bundled up in parkas galore while Aang was just walking around in his little jumpsuit like it was a perfect summer evening. I'm so glad this was cleared up. I literally thought Aang's optimistic attitude is what kept him warm. Oh, you like Avatar too? Yeah, the blue ones, not that dumb kids show. I love the character that's like not really the villain, but definitely not a good guy. I mean, he's on our side, but he's definitely not morally upstanding. Ah yes, me, my husband, and his 10-ton flying bison. I love how Tenzin tries so hard to be patient and serene like his father, but clearly inherited his temper from his mother. People who like Zuko, people who like Aang. He's nice. Growing hair, one in shame and the other in redemption. Cutting hair, one in redemption and the other in shame. Which TV character that arrived after the first season made the show infinitely better? Toph. Zuko. The villain's story started with a selfless act. Aang. The hero's story, who started with a selfish act. Sokka mastered all 4 non-bending styles from each nation. I need to recapture the Avatar to restore my honor. Just have some tea. Configuring update for Windows 10. I almost went, ooh, burn, but then I realized it's never too early for a sitting with the court painter, Zuko. Make sure he gets your good side. Everybody's trying to look like Prince Zuko so bad. Therapy session. I needed one after watching the last Airbender movie. So a truck tipped over in my hometown and it spilled cabbage all over the highway. My cabbage is... Sokka. I'm not one to complain, but can't Appa fly any higher? Aang. I have an idea. Why don't we all get on your back and you can fly us to the North Pole? Honestly, my favorite parts are when Aang is 110% done with everyone's BS and gets sassy. I am a strong and powerful bender, capable of moving massive amounts of earth by myself. It takes 7 of us to move one average-sized rock. Okay, but what if you married to whoever was on your phone background? My phone background is the moon. That's rough, buddy. The Avatar when he dies. Oh no! Anyways, Aang really went to school for 2 days, beat up the class bully, stole his girlfriend, hosted an illegal dance party, and started a new fashion trend. Bro was so unhinged. Your unpopular opinion on Aang. You're never gonna see me say, if you kill your oppressor, you're just as bad as them. But Aang taking away Ozai's bending was the most devastating thing he could have done to him. The Fire Lord having his powers revoked by an airbender child. I know he felt genuine fear. The Air Nomads are the only group of people that cannot give birth to non-benders. Due to their high spirituality, all Air Nomads are airbenders. Oh, to be an airbender and have tea with baby bison. Which cartoon character had the best character development and why? When your nephew had his head shaved because of a Chinese tradition and you take full advantage of the opportunity. A little something for everyone. Avatar, one of the most visually impressive animated shows ever made. Also Avatar, remember that time Uncle Iroh was going to get mugged and instead Iroh had a cup of tea and chatted with the mugger and told him that he believed in him and thought he could become a good master. Uncle Iroh is so important. Okay, but let's not forget he handed the mugger his butt first, then taught him a lesson about holding a knife. Still the greatest moment in all of animated television. I'll show you who's boss. Earthbending style. I said earthbending style. Lima, he's earthbending. No, you idiot. It's the girl. Oh, of course. One of my favorite ATLA animation errors is the stone armor in season 2. It was supposed to have a hole for her mouth and nose, seen on the right, but there was a mistake in the later side of production that left a hole for her eyes instead. She's blind. What we see versus what Azula sees. Firebenders, guys, when an airbender pulls out all the oxygen from the air, their stupid fires don't burn anymore. 100 years ago versus 100 years later. Firebending in the animated Avatar. Firebending in the Netflix adaptation. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. The height difference between Korra and the rest of her team. She's like 5'8". She's taller than the average glass of water, surrounded by taller glasses of water. The Fire Nation sitting in metal airships, confident that no earthbender could possibly reach them. Tough. They could have been the greatest sibling group, but their father sucks at parenting club. The only discussion I want to hear about the lightning scene is how in the world did Zuko Zuko, managed to run faster than light. When your card declines at the psychologist, so they say psych and start roasting your insecurities. When you read the comics while listening to the soundtrack. When the Fire Nation attacked. Monks, down. Stop doing fraud. Clean your stuff. You're not my mom. Check out this new bird. Cool. I decided to watch The Last Airbender since you recommended it to me. I understand why you like it so much now. It's a great movie. Y'all forget about Baby Yoda. We got Baby Appa. If Aang didn't run away and died at around 90 years old, we would have seen this avatar. This photo is from Salim today. It was taken at noon. With absolutely no filter. Hashtag Oregon fires. Whoever at the Northern Water Tribe, please put the damn koi fish back. Nobody's that happy. Aang and I are that happy. Because you two are idiots. Sometimes Azula says stuff that makes me laugh. The entire Metal Benders population and the entire Air Nomads population sitting around a table for dinner. I've never seen a man get curved so hard before. Gran literally moved to the opposite side of the world to get away from this man. Can we talk about the fact that Momo was on cactus juice too? When your dad insists on cooking all the expired foods because it's still good. Aang accidentally hits his head. Or the previous avatar. 6 years old, 112 years old, 113 years old, 140 years old, 166 years old. Original versus final designs. Airbnb suggests the existence of other BNBs. Water BNB, Earth BNB, but that all changed when the barges in. Bends without bending, refuses to elaborate, dies. Aang. As an airbender, I am committed to peace and preserving all life as precious and sacred. Appa. Die. Avatar, The Last Airbender, if Appa started eating people. Every time I see the airbenders, they reminded me of Winnie the Pooh. Reverse werewolf. Turn into the moon when you see a wolf. No, you can't just react to a situation where my ex-girlfriend turned into a moon by replying with a bad and stupid answer. Haha, that's rough, buddy. Record scratch. Freeze frame. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Who would win? All-powerful Fire Lord and his entire airship fleet. One windy boy. Basically me, 24/7. How stupid do you think I am? I can't believe how stupid I am. Here for a rematch? Trust me, Zuko, it's not going to be much of a match. It took Katara about 0.532 seconds to take Zuko down. Here for a rematch? He asked the waterbender while standing on a glacier island surrounded by water. She was born Ducky, and I was Ducky to be born. Uncle Iroh is a really smart, wise man, and he's always so helpful to Zuko, but he did him really dirty with that hairstyle on his date. Like, this is one of the few things that Iroh did wrong. Finally, Uncle, do you realize what this means? Wait, you spoke with my uncle? The first and last things that Zuko says in the Avatar franchise reference his uncle. Lol, you really think the last Agni Kai was the best fighter? Spotted in my hometown, the 4 horsemen of wisdom. Actual Chinese versus the live-action movie thing. Literal gibberish. How the hell did Azula survive without a helmet? Boomerangs were invented and are able to break kangaroos' necks. See, Azula isn't a kangaroo. Everybody gangster till the bald kid starts glowing. Can you believe 14-year-old Azula delivered the best line of any villain ever? Don't flatter yourself. You were never even a player. Iconic. Book 1 versus Book 3. Everybody gangster until Uncle Iroh starts singing Leaves from the Vine. Yip yip my girlfriend is like the sun. Explain. She's a star and makes my day bright by simply existing. My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. Take what you need. Honor. He's taking that, isn't he? When someone you don't like tells a joke that was low-key funny. Characters that go from villain to awkward friend are so important. If you really want it to feel like old times, I could chase you around for a while and try to capture you. Why would I choose cosmic energy over Katara? The way Aang went. What is unlimited and infinite power in the universe to a woman's love? Drinking cold iced tea. Using firebending in front of the Earth Kingdom citizens to heat the tea. Your unpopular opinion on Sozin. Break up with Roku so bad he created homophobia. Toph was shown easily bending a meteorite that Sokka gave her, meaning that Toph can bend any dirt regardless if it's from Earth or not. Meaning Toph could have definitely bent the moon, and the only reason she didn't do it was out of respect for Sokka and his ex-girlfriend. Toph doesn't know where the moon is. Yes, we all love seeing teenage kids take on oppressive governments in YA stories, but I'm here for the old men who refuse to be products of their time and use their wisdom and influence to fight the good fight. Someone come play Avatar Guess Who with me. Is your person emotionally stable? Yes, it's Momo. You're all fighting over the Ponytail Zuko discourse, but let me introduce you to the cursed concept of Pigtail Zuko. Hate. 40-year-old dwarf. You're just a child, 14 40-year-old elf. Oh, you're just a teenager, 40-year-old human. Get the hell off my lawn, you damn kids. Where can I find an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender dubbed in Japanese then resubbed in English? Let me guess, you've become so much of a weeaboo that you refuse to watch an American cartoon unless it gets dubbed into Japanese and retranslated for you. Do you ever look at the moon and can't believe how pretty it is? Why do we always end up here? My plans, 2020. Waterproof makeup, 100 ASC. No waterproof makeup, 170 ASC. I'm on, get your life together, man. Can we all just agree that if the Netflix Avatar series is bad, we officially deem that dumb YouTube parody as the real live action? Can you imagine how much pain Aang felt when he found out his whole culture was taken away from him? Aang, literally the next day after finding out. Fans' opinion on Azula. She needs redemption. She is the most tragic character. She's not really a villain. Oh my god, she is so sympathetic. Iroh's opinion. No, she is crazy and she needs to go down. In 2004, we learned that we had to change the name of our show from Avatar to Avatar: The Last Airbender because James Cameron already had the rights to a movie called Avatar. Now, the sequel is called The Way of Water. If part 3 is called The Firebending Masters, we riot. I always call them the Blue Avatar and the Good Avatar to avoid any confusion. A fun reminder that Aang was a terrifyingly powerful avatar. Most avatars are informed of their newfound destinies at the age of 16 to begin their training. Because of the approaching war, Aang was told of his status at the age of 12. He had already mastered airbending, and in the span of a year, he mastered the other 3 elements, the avatar state, and energy bending. He also learned lightning redirection and seismic sense, a technique no previous avatar had ever encountered. In the span of a year, this child was a terrifying force of nature. Aang and Katara's family portrait from the Legend of Korra. He was a deadbeat father to 2 of his kids because they weren't airbenders. Aang will never get my respect. All 4 of Aang's grandchildren have different eye colors, representing each of the 4 elements. The order they were born in follows the avatar cycle: fire, air, water, and earth. Okay, but Momo holding plushies of himself is by far the cutest thing I have ever seen all year. In the Firebending Masters, Aang and Zuko learn the dancing dragon technique from the dragons, and they realize Uncle Iroh must have done the same. But the dance requires 2 partners. I always wondered who was Uncle Iroh's partner, and then I realized it was probably his son. Begging you guys to look at the Dutch dude who won the gold medal in windsurfing. Winning in the Olympics in cosplay is the biggest legend move ever. I just realized that throughout these seasons, Iroh was mostly messing around. If he actually became serious and gave 100% of his abilities, efforts, and resources into capturing Aang, the show would have ended quickly. That moment when you realize this isn't Zuko's dad, but it's Iroh holding Zuko while he's with his son. I have never been more happy and sad at the same time. How to summon the avatar. 1. Set up a cart selling cabbages. 2. That's it. Just wait for him to show up. Cabbage Dude had better luck finding the avatar than Zuko did in all 3 seasons. Who would win? A clever young man who tries to think straight. A green juicy boy. Best transition in the history of TV. Poor Toph. She must be so scared. Why don't you come up here so I can smack that grin off your face? Say what you will about season 1 Zuko, but that man was committed. And then compare him to Zuko from the movie. Dude just watched as Aang ran away. 2 halves of 1 whole haircut. I could probably solve a complicated murder case if you gave me 1 bag of Harvest Cheddar Sun chips and a root beer. Can I be your sidekick who drinks cream soda? Well, yes. Aang, how bold can you be? Ah, the open sky above us, a daring mission before us, and friends all around. Just like old times, isn't it? Even better than old times. Before, I always wanted to kiss Katara, and now I actually get to do it. The Avatar community, when new fans are worried about being attacked for just joining the fandom now, we don't do that here. I want everyone to know that the calligraphy in Uncle Iroh's tea shop says, "I'd rather go without eating for 3 days than without tea for 1 day." Dude was committed. I just realized in this scene where Iroh and Zuko reunite, Iroh has no idea about the things Zuko has done to redeem himself. He doesn't know Zuko joined the Avatar, taught him firebending, risked his life several times. All Iroh knows in the moment is that his nephew found him again and is sorry, and that is enough for him to forgive Zuko for everything. Government, we can open the schools. Kids are responsible enough to avoid spreading the virus to each other. Kids, when they cough. Girls talking about their first boyfriend. Was that guy your boyfriend or something? What? No. Guys talking about their first girlfriend. My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. I met a 4th grader and her name was Yue. And she was like, yeah, I'm named after a character from Avatar: The Last Airbender because my parents are huge nerds. And all I said was, that's rough, buddy. And she beamed at me and I'm pretty sure I made her day. Lord, that episode aired 12 12 years ago. To this day, I cannot believe Aang called up and blew off like 9 avatars, just because they didn't offer any vegan options to ending the war. Roku. My best friend assaulted me as a senior citizen. Kiyoshi. Sometimes some murder is okay. Karuk. Just punch people that disagree with you. Aang. Okay, I'm starting to think that none of you took this Avatar thing seriously. The last spoken word in Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra is perfect. And this is what the youth call poetic cinema. Well, I think you all look perfect. Sounds perfect. The end. Okay, I have a confession to make, guys. I have not watched Avatar or any of these, the movies or the show. Hopefully the memes are good. Hopefully you enjoyed this video.